Today I want to speak to you about red cross marks that we make in the lives of people by our looks, by our indictments, by our thoughts, by our words, maybe even by our deeds. So red cross marks are our disapproval, and our children may hear it, our spouse may hear it, our colleagues, workmates may hear it. Sometimes parents do this for children. Red cross marks. At times of mistake management, we speak what happened wrong rather than speak improvement forward. The child gets stigmatized, thinking the error is being reproved again and again. So every dad must appoint a mistake management time to get into the child the improvement lifestyle. The digitized children lose the reward motive. Let me explain. Our prefrontal cortex works for executive, empathic, decision making, so initiation, navigation, successful in conclusion and reward. This is how we must do every 45 minutes for studies or work. That is called top-down regulation. But when a child is digitized, the child goes bottom-up regulation. He does whatever comes to him any given moment, and the dopamine had turned to addictive mode. So we must have mistake managing reprieve times to give children hope rather than they hear our disapproval. Every word that we utter for disapproval, for depreciation or correction must be balanced with 4 words of appreciation, approval and encouragement. That's the science. So we can't go on telling them, improve yourself, you did that wrong. We have to, once we say it once, you need to improve yourself. 4 times we have to find things to say, this you did well, you have done that very nicely. So appreciation must come 4 times more than the correcting mode. And you have to appoint a good time, generally after meals, when oxytocin is maximum and GABA is high, for mistake management. In life, adults also indict one another. Indict. We can learn that term, isn't it? Instead of indicting with accusation, implied or very obvious, overt or covert, we need to give them acceptance. Then we can make people feel they are liable and they are going to err again. They are going to fall at the same place. So we have to help them overcome their liability, that they have a good expectation about themselves. Where does liability come from? Past experience, what put downs they heard from adults, teachers, parents and so on. So liability is a real stress factor. They feel before they begin, I am going to fail. The same issue of vulnerability is also there. Past wounds playing to a victimized mentality that they never come out of it. Of course, we have heard that victims become victimizers also. Then condemnation is there. We want to get them into feeling you can do it well. We don't want them to hear being sentenced by our words, by our looks, by our disapproval, and by our silence also. We can give them silent treatment. You give them the cold shoulder. Treat them with the long end of a barge pole. Keep our distance. We convey all these positions of judgment and sentencing people to commentary was an old term used when commentary used to have mental hospitals, sent them to commentary. So then the guilt that people carry, that I did this wrong, we have to bring it to the good shepherd who will do it right for them. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. We want to get them there. That the expectation is of green pastures and better pastures, not a bad outcome. And then we want to attend on the still waters that run deep, the fountains that feed the grass from the top, the real fountains of life that are working in their insides. We want to cleanse it up for them. We want to clean it up for them. So instead of condemnation, they begin to hear acceptance, and the legal term is justification. You will get it right. So this is on the cross, this is what the Savior did. His righteousness, He transferred to us that we get inside us a sense of, I will be able to do this better. Not self-flagellation, but that I will be able to do this better. There's a surety and a certainty given, rather than wage exacting punishment. We feel life is a gift, rather than doing exactly like a servant and expecting wages to the extent I did and suffer lack of wages or cuts when I don't do it. We don't speak that language to children. Life is a gift and we want to give them the best proposition possible. Then the alienation we carry in our heart, feeling distance, feeling old enmities, we want to speak reconciliation. This is what the cross did. So here I have drawn it. As we go from one side to the other, we begin to see that this is what Christ did on the cross. So that payment we all the time try to do with religious sacrifices and penance, he has already become the ransom, all payment made. So his last words on the cross was, "It is finished." Now this has a spiritual connotation. At the same time, we want to practice this in our daily addressing of our kids' issues, that we speak redemption rather than condemnation. We are not going to say, you are like your dad, or you do this the same thing and again you do this, you never succeed in life. We don't want to get into that language of marking a child's life with a red cross mark. You know, when teachers got angry in those days gone by with fountain ink pen, they mark a red cross that goes through many pages. Similarly, it goes through many years in a child's life, what you have marked red and wrong. We want to stop that kind of management, and we want to mark approval, help, good expectation into the child's life. This is the change we want to begin in our mistake management of our own kids. Maybe it is applicable to other colleagues, those who are junior to us in our work field. We want to speak improvement and good expectations. And we want to speak the same over our nation. We want to speak words of hope and healing, not treat the nation like a never do well in our language. Therefore, stop circulating clips about politicians doing wrong. Let us do well, and let's speak and send around some clips of good works we have done, some help we could do. So please don't encourage this culture of running down the country, and don't do it in front of our kids. They begin to feel they have no hope in this country. They will say, soon as O-level is done, give us a foundation course, spend some millions and send us to another country. Why is it happening? Because parents are criticizing the nation and the downturn in front of kids. Discussions, we must get into a room, close the door, do it in your own hearing. Don't do it at the dinner table. Meal times are to be fantastic, wonderful, communicating times that we communicate the best possible for our children. That's what the meal times should be. If we attend on our home conversation, our kids' appraisal, their sense of worth, their sense of achievement, what they can do in this country will go up. When parents or teachers constantly run down and news items are circulated and shared, always ruin and run down, we have a promise. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, praise His holy name. So we get into a mode within us. We remember things that did well for us. Sri Lanka was a country that trained very well. The British trained us for an excellent tree industry. The British trained us for an excellent rubber industry. And our desiccated coconut fetches the highest markets in the world. Same with our cinnamon. We are a nation that's able to train well. And our IT brains are exported all over the world because we can train well, we can be trained well, and we can train well. Then our medical system was fantastic, and our specialists find top positions all over the world. Our medical faculties did very well. So let's speak of the good things this nation has and expect the good to return rather than it getting worse. It is in our mouth. Our happiness is in our mouth. Let's practice this. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, praise His holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits. May you have every hour a memory of a benefit, something that turned for good. Don't go into the next hour with a misericordia, feeling miserable and thinking miserable and talking miserable. No, that's not the way to go. Many diseases are provoked by misery. Migraine, peptic ulcer, ulcerative colitis, all kinds of diseases, even hypertension and diabetes, have to do with the stress we evoke with our own mouth about bad reports, and those bad reports, bad things may have happened, but don't start analyzing, talking all the time about the bad. And then He promises He forgives our iniquities, heals our diseases, He redeems our life from ruin and rundown, and He crowns us with loving kindness and tender mercy. Believe on this, that you have a crown sitting on your head because you are a child of God, that it will improve, not run down. You will have good reports in your mouth, and your youth will be renewed like the eagle. That's a promise from Psalm 103, first 5 verses. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. My app is Golden Nuggets, available from App Store and from Google. Also, if you want any more clips of science or reason, please, or spiritual, send a WhatsApp to 0742 11 5011. If you are from abroad, it should be +94 74 211 5011. Thank you.